Hello everyone, welcome. If you are new, my name is Iman, and I am so excited to be watching Pride and Prejudice for the first time. This has been on my watch list for a very long time, and I just never got to it, and I can't tell you why, but I think today I'm in need of a romance, and I believe that this story is going to give me that, and I'm so ready. So this movie is also going to be visually beautiful, so that's nice. I'm excited for that. I have no idea what this story is about, by the way. I'm going into this absolutely blind, so I'm excited. Very cute the way this all looks, and I love her dress.
Lydia, Lizzie.
Just so it's a house filled with a bunch of women.
You heard? Netherfield Park is let at last. Do you not want to know who has taken it?
Well, as you wish to tell me, my dear. I doubt I have any choice in the matter.
Love the camera work too.
Mr. Bingley arrived from the north. He's single.
Who's single? Mr. Bingley, apparently.
Is that Rosamund Pike? This is Donald Sutherland, but I don't. Oh, I know all of them. Carrie Mulligan, is that her name?
Is he handsome?
5,000 a year. It would not matter if he had warts and delia.
Who's got what?
So will he come to the ball tomorrow?
Oh, they're all his daughters.
I believe so.
They look so happy so far. I don't know if this takes any twists and turns and it becomes like they're killing each other by the end, or I don't know. Like, I have no context to this movie at all. So
No, they are far too easy to judge.
They're not all bad.
Humorless poppycocks in my limited experience.
One of these days, Lizzie, someone will catch your eye, and then you'll have to watch your tongue.
So which of the painted peacocks is our Mr. Bingley?
Well, he's on the right, and on the left is his sister. That is his good friend, Mr. Darcy.
Mr. Darcy.
It's miserable, poor soul.
Miserable he may be.
Nah, I know a Mr. Darcy. That's familiar.
And may I introduce Mr. Darcy of Pemberley in Derbyshire.
Mr. Darcy looks miserable. The others, is it her name Mary? She's so much like, ugh.
Jane's dancing with Mr. Bingley. Will you dance, Mr. Darcy?
Not if I can help it. I've never seen so many pretty girls in my life. You are dancing with the only handsome girl in the room. But her sister Elizabeth is very agreeable. Not handsome enough to tempt me. You'd better return to your partner and enjoy her smiles.
Count your blessings, Lizzie. If he liked you, you'd have to talk to him.
I mean, so far, Mr. Darcy sucks. I'm just gonna say that. I don't like his attitude.
Your friend Miss Lucas is a most amusing young woman.
It is a pity she's not more handsome.
Oh.
My Jane, who is considered the beauty of the
Hmm.
county. She was only 15. There was a gentleman
Messed
so
up.
much in...
I wonder who first discovered the power of poetry in driving away love.
I thought the poetry was the food of love.
Of a fine stout love, it may.
So what do you recommend to encourage affection?
Dancing. Even if one's partner is barely tolerable.
That's awesome. She's like, I heard you. And yeah, the twist, away, walk away.
Love will persuade me into matrimony, which is why I will end up an old maid.
Do you really believe he liked me, Lizzie?
He danced with you most of the night and stared at you for the rest of it.
Oh, I still can't believe what he said about you.
Mr. Darcy, don't worry, forgive his vanity had he not wounded mine.
Aww. If Mr. Darcy is the love interest, he had better step up his game, because so far I don't feel seduced. And I need to feel seduced, okay?
It's a shame she's not more handsome. There's a spinster in the making and no mistake.
I mean, back in the day, they were really blunt about if people were attractive or not. Like, that's just messed up. Praise the Lord.
You're safe.
Her brother will be dining out.
dining out?
Can I take the carriage?
See that?
It is too far to walk, Mamma.
She'll go on horseback.
Horseback?
She can't go on horseback like this. It's pouring rain. So the mom is like the head of the household. She makes all the decisions.
She'll have to stay the night, exactly as I predicted.
Your skills in the art of matchmaking are far superior.
Oh no.
Now, if Jane does die, it'll be a comfort to know it was in pursuit of Mr. Bingley.
So they're more rich than they are. The Bennets. That's a beautiful dress she's wearing, that red. Wow, the difference. Because the other house, I was like, they look really wealthy, to be honest. But
Good Lord,
wow.
Miss Elizabeth, did you walk here?
I'm so sorry. How is my sister?
She's upstairs.
Okay. He's finding her to be really interesting because she walked here and her hair is kind of a mess, but she looks so good. She looks beautiful.
Goodness, did you see her hair 6 inches deep in mud?
I think he likes that.
Positively medieval.
Thank you for tending to my sister so diligently. She is in far better comfort here than she would have been at home.
It's a pleasure. I mean, it's, sorry, not a pleasure that she's ill, of course not. It's a pleasure that she's here.
Oh my god. Huge boy. Holy cow. I mean, they're acting like they're not in real life, so I don't know.
She must have a thorough knowledge of music, singing, drawing, dancing, and the modern languages to deserve the word.
And of course she must improve her mind by extensive reading.
I'm no longer surprised at your knowing only 6 accomplished women. I rather wonder now at your knowing any.
Are you so severe on your own sex?
I never saw such a woman. She would certainly be a fearsome thing to behold.
My good opinion once lost is lost forever.
A Mrs. Bennet, a Miss Bennet, a Miss Bennet, and a Miss Bennet.
For heaven's sake, are we to receive every Bennet in the country?
The contrast. I think Mary is her name, but with everyone having all the colors, she's just with the brown, and she says no expression.
Is it true that you've promised to hold a ball here at Netherfield?
A ball?
It would be an excellent way to meet new friends.
Oh, do hold a ball, Kitty.
I think a ball is a perfectly irrational way to gain new acquaintance. It would be better if conversation, instead of dancing, were the order of the day.
Rather less like a ball.
Thank you, Mary.
Mary. Mary is more introverted.
Pleasure is all mine.
She's killing every dress. It's amazing. Like, she's so pretty with that green. Ooh. Oh. What was that? Oh my god, I know him. Oh my gosh, he's so young.
Many years since I've had such an exemplary vegetable.
Oh, believe me, no one would suspect your manners to be rehearsed.
I have with me Fordyce's sermons, which speak very eloquently on all matters moral. It is my avowed hope that soon I may find a mistress for it. She's engaged.
But Miss Lizzie next to her in both age and
Oh, don't. No.
do you agree, Mr. Collins?
Oh,
Indeed.
that's. Oh, God. Ugh. I'm like suffocating right now. I'm like, ugh, that's such a fear. Like, ugh, being sold off to just someone. Isn't it your cousin on top of it? But like, not someone that you actually love.
Yours, I believe.
Oh, Mr. Wickham, perfect you are.
Picked up my handkerchief too. Yours on purpose.
I can't be trusted. I have very poor taste in ribbons.
Only a man truly confident of himself would admit to that.
Be sure to invite Mr. Wickham. He is a credit to his profession.
Excuse me, lady.
Does he feel it too? He's like my competition.
How long has Mr. Darcy been
Or do they know each other?
Forgive me, but are you acquainted with him?
Indeed, I've been connected with his family since infancy. If he wishes to avoid seeing me, he must go. My father managed his estate. We grew up together, Darcy and I. His father treated me like a second son. His last breath, his father bequeathed me the rectory in his estate. But Darcy ignored his wishes and gave the living to another man.
But why?
Jealousy. His father, well, he loved me better and Darcy couldn't stand it. I'm a poor foot soldier, too lowly even to be noticed.
Is that true? There's always two sides to a story, so I don't know.
I'll discover the truth.
truth from Mr. Bingley at the ball this evening?
If it is not true, let Mr. Darcy contradict it himself.
Poor unfortunate Mr. Wickham.
On the contrary, Wickham is twice the man Darcy is.
Let us hope a rather more...
I mean, you can't judge them. You don't know them. So you kind of, it takes time to figure out who someone is. I mean, so far, Mr. Darcy sucks. I'm just going to say that. Mary's like rolling her eyes. Who's going to take notice of her? I feel like she's just the one that's just in the background, but I don't know. Okay, I think that's cute. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it could be kind of stalkerish, but it's kind of cute. Because he doesn't seem like the shy type.
Mr. Wickham is not here. Apparently he's been detained.
Detained where?
There you are.
Mr. Collins.
Perhaps you will do me the honour, Miss Elizabeth.
Oh, man. She can say no, right? Like, she can say, I don't want to...
I do not think it incompatible with the office of a clergyman to indulge in such an innocent diversion.
Like, she doesn't have to marry him, right? He's so serious.
To be sure, dancing is of little consequence to me, but it does for me.
May I have the next dance?
Oh, really? I thought it was below you. Okay, he's growing on me a little bit.
I love this dance.
Indeed, most invigorating.
The way that they just like talk for just a little bit.
Mr. Wickham is blessed with such happy manners. He is sure of making friends. Whether he is capable of retaining them is less certain.
It's so unfortunate as to lose your friendship.
Why do you ask such a question?
To make out your character, Mr. Darcy.
And what have you discovered?
Very little.
I hope to afford you more clarity in the future.
Oh, I like that. Everyone's gone. Wow. That's cool. That was cool. I like that edit.
Mr. Darcy.
Really?
Us long enough.
Why? 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 Why do they treat her like that?
We fully expect a most advantageous marriage.
Okay, everyone needs to chill out. Goodness. I can't believe they're just talking like that open about stuff like this in front of anybody and everybody. These girls have no sense. I'm just gonna say that. Like they have no sense at all. I can't deal with that.
Clearly my family are having a competition to see who can expose themselves to the most ridicule.
I have a feeling that at any point this evening, someone's going to produce a piglet and make us...
I need to know how Mary is doing. I feel bad for her. I'm worried, honestly, about her. Aww. Aww. I hope she finds her thing in this movie at some point. Like Mary can shine in her way. They partied all night. He's still there? God.
Certainly. Lizzie will be very happy indeed. Everyone, Mr. Collins would like a...
Oh my God, this mom is like unbearable.
Mr. Bennett, now?
No, this is messed up. I know it was a different time, but does he not get the vibe? Like, I mean, that's nice, but get the vibe. She's not into you.
Almost as soon as I entered the house, I singled you out as the companion of my future life.
Mr. Collins!
And that no reproach on the subject of fortune will cross my lips once we're married.
You forget that I have given no answer. I am honoured by your proposal, but I regret that I must decline it. You could not make me happy, and I'm convinced I'm the last woman in the world who could make you happy.
Mm-hmm.
Simply seek to increase my love by suspense.
Sir,
According to the usual practice of elegant females.
I am not the sort of female to torment a respectable man. Please understand me. I cannot accept you.
Yeah, like she's just real.
Strong, foolish...
No, you're a fool. Honestly, you're a fool. I don't care. Do you want him, Mary?
Don't worry, Mr. Collins. We'll have this little
She's running away. The dust is picking up. Like, that's not a sign. You never want to see that. The dust is kicking from behind. She's like kicking dust. She's running so far and so fast from him.
You must come and make Lizzie marry Mr. Collins.
No. Can he put his foot down on this woman? Like, not literally, but like tell her, hey, chill. Stay in your lane, woman, and get away. Because this is wrong.
Your mother insists on you marrying.
Yeah, we know. We all hear this.
Your mother will never see you again if you do not marry Mr. Collins, and I will never see you again if you do.
Mr. Bennet. Thank you, Papa.
Good.
Ungrateful child.
Jane.
Is he leaving? They're all leaving?
Charlotte. My dear Lizzie, I've come here to tell you the news. Mr. Collins and I are engaged.
Engaged?
Yes. There is no earthly reason why I shouldn't be as happy with him as any other.
But he's ridiculous.
Oh, hush. Not all of us can afford to be romantic.
Hmm.
I've been offered a comfortable home and protection. There's a lot to be thankful for.
Charlotte.
I'm 27 years old. I've no money and no prospects. I'm already a burden to my parents. And I'm frightened.
I mean, she's got a fair point. It's just sad. That's all. But, I mean, it makes sense, especially for that time period. It's still, in a lot of ways, like that today. I'm very much with Lizzie. I mean, we have one life. You cannot settle. This is really beautiful, how they're filming this. It's better to be alone and work hard and struggle, to be quite honest, than to be with someone that you don't love and they don't love you. But I do understand the other side of it too, the protection side of it. It's just sad that it can't be. It's not a perfect world, you know?
This parlour is for my own particular use.
That's nice.
It's such a pleasure to run my own home.
I'm like, is that a bird in her hair? What is going on? Is that Judi Dench?
So you are Elizabeth Bennet. This is my daughter.
£300.
Mr. Darcy is there.
Mr. Darcy.
I'm all like blushing.
You know my nephew?
Had the pleasure of meeting your nephew in Hertfordshire.
Has your governess left you?
We never had a governess.
Your mother must have been quite a slave to your education.
Oh boy, the judgment.
Or would all five out at once?
Everyone looks miserable.
When I say I play poorly,
Come, Lizzie. Her ladyship.
She's just like bring.
She plays very well.
I hope she practices. No excellence can be acquired without constant practice. I've told Mrs. Collins this.
You mean to frighten me, Mr. Darcy, by coming in all your state to hear me?
I do not have the talent of conversing easily with people I have never met before.
Same.
You should take your aunt's advice and practice.
Holy cow. Okay.
Mr. Darcy.
What's going on? Is someone dead? Oh, he's just shy.
Good day, Miss Elizabeth.
What? That's it?
What on earth have you done to turn Mr. Darcy?
Applied for consultation.
Everyone's asleep in his church. Oh my god.
He saved the man from an imprudent marriage.
Who was the man?
Oh, was it for her sister?
Charles Bingley.
Oh.
I think it was a family that was considered unsuitable.
So he separated them.
I believe so. I know nothing else.
Miss Elizabeth, I have struggled in vain and I can bear it no longer. These past months have been a torment. I came to Rosings with the single object of seeing you. I had to see you. I have fought against my better judgment, my family's expectation, the inferiority of your birth, my rank and circumstance, all these things, and I'm willing to put them aside and ask you to end my agony.
I don't understand.
I love you. Please do me the honor of accepting my hand.
I mean, she can't. He just interfered with her sister's potential engagement.
I might as well inquire why, with so evident a design of insulting me, you chose to tell me that you like me against your better judgment.
No, believe...
Do you think if anything might tempt me to accept a man who has ruined, perhaps forever, the happiness of a most beloved sister?
I do not deny it.
Okay.
Because I believed your sister indifferent to us the most carefully and realised his attachment was deeper than hers.
That's because she's shy.
Bingley, too, is modest and was persuaded she didn't feel strongly. I did it for his own good.
My sister hardly shows her true feelings to me.
It was made perfectly clear that an advantageous marriage...
Did my sister get that
Your
impression?
mom.
No, it was the matter of your family.
Our want of connection.
It was the lack of propriety shown by your mother, your 3 younger sisters, even on occasion your father.
And what about Mr. Wickham?
Oh, yes, his misfortunes have been very great indeed.
You ruin his chances, and yet you treat him with sarcasm.
But this is your opinion of me.
From the first moment I met you, your arrogance and conceit, your selfish disdain for the feelings of others, made you the last man in the world I could ever be prevailed upon to marry.
But they're drawn to each other.
Forgive me, madam, for taking up so much of your time.
Okay, the self-control. That's good. I guess he was trying to be a good friend. Like she said, like her sister doesn't show her true feelings to even her. And like we didn't know that Mr. Darcy was also really shy and introverted. And it's just like everyone judges each other, but no one takes the time to get to know each other. And I mean, so far, Mr. Darcy sucks. I'm just going to say that. I mean, obviously she's in love with him too.
I came to leave you this. I shall not renew the sentiments which were so disgusting to you, but if I may, I will address the 2 offences you have laid against me. My father loved Mr. Wickham as a son, but upon my father's death, Mr. Wickham announced he had no intention of taking orders. He demanded the value of the living which he was given, and which he gambled away within 2 years. He then wrote demanding more money, which I refused, after which he severed all acquaintance. He came back to see us last summer, at which point he declared passionate love for my sister, whom he tried to persuade to elope. When it was made clear he would never receive a penny of that inheritance, he disappeared. I will not attempt to convey the depth of Georgiana's despair. She was 15 years old. As to the other matter, that of your sister and Mr. Bingley, they were in the service of a friend.
I'm quite over him, Lizzie. If you passed me in the street, I'd hardly notice. What news from Kent?
Nothing.
Lydia's been invited to go to Brighton with the force.
Lydia will never be easy until she's exposed herself in some public place.
If you, dear father, do not take the trouble to check her, she will be fixed forever as the silliest and most determined flirt who ever made her family ridiculous.
Lizzie, we shall have no peace until she goes. Let us hope, in fact, that her stay in Brighton will teach her her own insignificance. If she does, you'll be obliged to let her.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's messed up. It's funny.
Did he mention Mr. Bingley? No.
Aww. Yeah, how do you say that? I mean, it's the truth. Maybe it would be good to say it, but also maybe not. That tree is beautiful.
I think we're quite close to Pemberley.
My God. Wow. That's crazy. It's so interesting seeing everyone's wealth, the difference in wealth. It's like, no, this guy's even richer than the last person. And then you grow up that way. How do you view the world? Wow. This is in their home. This is not a museum. This is their home. Wow.
Do you not think him a handsome man? Yes. Yes, I dare say he is.
What a view. It's just like, I'm stunned. That's like the first time you see him smile, too.
No,
We would not have come had we known you
some
were-
business with my steward.
I'm so sorry to intrude. They said that the house was open for visitors. I had no idea.
May I see you back to the village?
No. I'm very fond of walking.
Yes. Yes, I know.
Bye, Mr. Darcy.
When are they gonna like have a real heart to heart? He's there. Yeah, he's with her aunt and uncle. How funny.
Very civil, was he not?
Very simple.
Not at all how you'd place it. There's something pleasant about his mouth. Very sweet.
Wow. It's just so interesting. Like, the more wealth you have, the more access you have to learn languages, to learn skills, to be a pianist of this skill.
Miss Elizabeth!
Aw, cute.
My brother has told me so much about you. I feel as if we are friends already. Oh, thank you. Oh, it's from Jane.
Lydia has run away with Mr. Wickham.
Oh my God.
They have gone from Brighton to Lord knows where. She has no money, no connections.
Oh my God. What? Ugh, that guy. Ugh. God, you just don't know who people are.
If only I'd exposed Wickham when I should.
I might have prevented all this, Minnie, by being open with my sisters. But I know very well that nothing can be done. We have not the smallest hope.
Now she's ruined.
You're all ruined. We'll take you now with us, poor
Fallen sister.
I can't make out his script.
They're married.
They will be. Father will settle £100 a year on her. That is Wickham's condition. £100?
Who knows how much your uncle must have laid on that wretched man. No man in his senses could marry Lydia under so slight a temptation as £100 a year. Your uncle must have been very generous.
Lydia married, and at 15 too. Ring the bell, Kitty.
I mean, this is where Lydia gets her, like, nutso self. I mean,
Daughter marry, is that really all?
yeah, really, truly.
When you have 5 daughters, Lizzie, tell me what else will occupy your thoughts.
I guess it is. Yeah, she's like, you don't know what he's like. Ugh, he's just, yeah. Ugh, he's literally horrible.
Let my hand just rest so she might see the ring. Then I bowed and smiled like an
Oh man, this is like a nightmare. You don't want your child to marry anyone like this.
That is the place to get husbands. I hope you have half my good luck. He did come back, or I would have had to ask Mr. Darcy, but I don't really like
Mr. Darcy? I shouldn't have said a word.
He was the one that discovered us.
Oh.
He paid for the wedding. Wickham's commission.
Oh.
Everything. He told me not to tell.
Mr. Darcy?
Stop it, Lizzie. Kitty?
This guy's just a creep. Just a liar. And this mom is just, God. She's a sweet daughter, because I could not. So how much is he paying Wickham? That's the question.
Mr. Bingley is returning to Netherfield.
Mr. Bingley?
Mrs. Nichols is ordering a haunch of pork.
I'm just glad he comes alone, because then we shall see less of him.
Oh, Mr. Darcy's with him. They're gonna catch her like this.
He's here. He's at the door. Mr. Bingley. Oh, my goodness.
This mom is ridiculous.
Mr. What's his name? Was on from before.
Mr. Darcy?
Oh, God. She's crazy.
Mary, sit down at once.
Act natural, everybody.
Mary!
Be busy doing something. You have to be busy. Hands have to be busy.
Mr. Darcy and Mr. Bingley.
I hope that the weather stays fine for your sport.
I return to town tomorrow.
So soon.
Can they just get together?
Well,
No, you didn't come all this way. Come on.
Very pleasant.
Why won't anyone just speak their
Elizabeth?
truth?
You must come again. For when you were in town last winter, you promised to have a family dinner with us.
So weak as to be in danger now.
I think you are in great danger of making him as much in love with you as ever.
I'm sorry, though, that he came with Mr. Darcy.
Don't say that. Jane. I've been so blind.
What do you mean?
She was about to say, like, she's in love with Mr. Darcy.
Immediately, except you, Jane. Dear. Of course. Oh, Mr. Bingley, it is so good to see
The way she switches up.
I'm
tell you I've been the most unmitigated and comprehensive ass.
Yes. 1,000 times yes.
Thank the Lord for that. I thought it would never happen.
I will say I also misjudged him. Speaking of everyone judging everyone, I judged him incorrectly.
I am confident they will do well together. Their tempers are much alike.
I knew she could not be so beautiful for nothing.
He thought me indifferent. Unfathomable. No doubt poisoned by his pernicious sister. Bravo. That's the most unforgiving speech you've ever made. Oh, Lizzie, if I could but see you so happy, if there was such another man for you. Perhaps Mr. Collins has a cousin. Catherine.
What is going on?
The rest of your offspring, I presume. You have a very small garden.
Okay.
Miss Bennet, I warn you, I am not to be trifled with, that you intend to be united with my nephew, Mr. Darcy. I know this to be a scandalous falsehood.
If you believed it to be impossible, I wonder
Right.
if coming so far.
To hear it contradicted, Miss Bennet. Has my nephew made you an offer of marriage?
Your ladyship has declared it to be impossible.
Mr. Darcy is engaged to my daughter.
Oh.
If that is the case, you can have no reason to suppose he would make an offer to me.
You selfish girl. This union has been planned since their infancy.
Oh.
Do you think it can be prevented by a young woman of inferior birth whose own sister's elopement resulted in a scandalously patched up...
This is too much.
You have insulted me in every possible way and can now have nothing further to say. I must ask you to leave immediately.
Right.
I have never been thus treated.
But the way you're treating her like that.
Is it? For once in your life, leave me alone!
Is it just not going to work out for her? I feel like, that would be realistic. That it doesn't always work out. It worked out for her sister, but I feel like that's rare to find someone that you're like both equally into each other and both wanting to share your life together. All like everything matching up. It's rare. Is she dreaming or is this real? Because this is like a dream. Him appearing from the fog, the mist.
How can I ever make amends for such behavior?
After what you have done for Lydia, and I suspect for Jane also, it is I who should be making amends.
Surely you must know it was all for you. If your feelings are still what they were last April, tell me so at once. My affections and wishes have not changed.
Come on, just...
One word from you will silence me
No,
forever.
just tell him that you love him.
If, however, your feelings have changed, I would have to tell you, you have bewitched me, body and soul, and I love, and love, and love you. I'll never wish to be parted from you from this day on.
Well then. Your hands are cold.
Shut the door, please.
No, he spoke to her father.
He's rich, to be sure. He would have more fine carriages than Jane. Would that make you happy?
It's not about the money. He's priceless, literally.
I love him.
That's huge coming from her.
He's not proud. I was wrong. I was entirely wrong about him. You don't know him, Papa, if I told you what he was really like. What he's done.
What has he done?
She doesn't like him. I thought she didn't like him. I must have been wrong.
He's pacing.
We misjudged him, Papa, me more than anyone, in every way. Not
Me too. I misjudged him too.
He and I are so similar. We've been so stubborn. Papa,
You really do love him, don't you?
Very much.
I cannot believe that anyone can deserve him. I am overruled. So, I heartily give my consent. I could not have parted with you, my Lizzie, to anyone less worthy. If any young men come for Mary or Kitty, for heaven's sake, send them in.
The swans. Oh, that's so beautiful.
How are you this evening, my dear?
Very well. Only I wish you would not call me my dear.
Why?
Because it's what my father always calls my mother when he's cross about something.
What endearments am I allowed?
Lizzie for every day. My pearl for Sundays. God is divine. but only on very
God
special
is
occasions.
divine.
What shall I call you when I'm cross? Mrs. Darcy.
No, you may only call me Mrs. Darcy when you are completely and perfectly and incandescently happy.
And how are you this evening, Mrs. Darcy? Mrs. Darcy.
That's so sweet. Oh.
Mrs. Darcy. Mrs. Darcy.
I didn't think I would cry. That was a very wonderful movie. Very, I genuinely didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if it was going to be like a thriller. I didn't know if it was if people were going to die. I don't even know what happens to Mary, but I hope she finds her her peace and her happiness. But just seeing how everyone in this movie misunderstood everybody else. There was just a lot of miscommunication. There was a lack of communication. There was a lack of showing your true heart, your true feelings, and then maybe showing too much, like the gossip. Like the mom just could not help herself, talking about, Mr. Bingley is rich, and this is an advantageous wedding and engagement for my daughter. And I mean, it doesn't make you look good. And so then you have, obviously, Mr. Darcy hearing that and being like, oh, this is my friend. I don't want my friend to be married into a family like this. But then we can't really judge her mom. We don't know exactly everything that led up to her being the way that she is. And I'm sure she's not an evil person. She's just, she's a lot. She's definitely a lot, and a bit narcissistic, but I know she does love her children for sure. And then Mr. Darcy in the beginning, I mean, he just seems so like he's better than everyone else. But it makes sense. I mean, he really was raised in luxury. So it as much as it sucks that in some ways that he acts like that, that's not who he is. It's just sort of like it's just how he comes across. But if you get to actually know him, then you're like, oh, he's a really genuine guy. And the fact that Mr. Wickham lied and just sold him out like that, just threw him under the bus. When he started talking negatively about Mr. Darcy, it's like there is two sides to a story. And even if Mr. Darcy did explain what was the truth, there's still like this thing of like, well, what's his patterns? And that's the thing about getting engaged so early. You can't know how someone is. Some people get really lucky and they get married really like within a month, and then they're together for like 35 years, 40 years, 50 years, and it just, worked out. I agree wholeheartedly with Elizabeth. And I know it was a different time, but there's still similarities even for today. There's hardships. I mean, you need a single income household is really tough. It's expensive. Things are going up in prices. Life is easier if you have another person to help with that. But that should not be the sole reason you marry someone or enter into a relationship with someone.